Michigan, number 9, Emma Aher. From League City, Texas, number 11, Melody Horton. From Spokane, Washington, number 12, Maria Adams. Now, we'd like to recognize your Utah Valley Wolverines senior class.
I have this Gatorade.
Our first senior of the night is a senior right side hitter, number 5, Megan Childs. Megan has been a part of the Utah Valley Volleyball team for 3 years, where she earned a 283 hitting percentage and earned academic all-WAC honors in 2017. In her senior campaign, Megan has tallied 7 games above a 300 attack percentage and holds the 3rd highest hitting average on the team. Megan's drive and determination has been inspiring and will be missed as a Wolverine. Joining Megan on the court are her parents Doug and Connie and her husband Yoli. Fans, Megan Childs. Next up is senior middle blocker, number 8, Makayla Jurema. Jurema has led the Wolverines at the net for 2 years after transferring to UVU from Butler. As a junior, Makayla ranked 2nd to the nation in blocks per set with a single-season school record of 1.78 and gathered 187 total blocks. Makayla also garnered 2nd team All-WAC in 2018 for her campaign. As a senior, Makayla was one of 3 Wolverines named to the preseason All-WAC team and has followed it up by leading the conference with 1.57 blocks per set and tabbed WAC Player of the Week twice. Makayla has brought a lot of energy and fun to the court that will be missed. Joining Makayla on the court are her parents Mike and Liz. And Makayla Jurema.
Who am I? And furthermore, what do I want? What makes you itch? That's the most important investigation anyone can make. But you don't find this out until you investigate it. So I always ask the question, what would you like to do if money were no object? How would you really enjoy spending your life? Because if you say that money is the most important thing, you will spend your life completely wasting your time. Forget the money. After all, if you do really like what you're doing, you can eventually become a master of it. And then you'll be able to get a good fee for whatever it is. Therefore, it's so important to consider this question. What do I desire?
If we can see things for what they are, if we can see what they could be, if the plastic we use, we never throw away, if the end of one thing could be the beginning of the next. If we know that less can create more. If we can return, we reciprocate, we regenerate. If we are here for others, if we can work as a team, all we have to do is connect, and the world opens up. The future is about giving back.
Hey, you gonna do this or what? You gotta do it.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, inside the Lockhart Arena. I'm Kyle Bruder alongside Sierra, formerly Starley. What's your new last name?
Thomas.
Thomas. I totally forgot to ask you that before this started.
That's okay.
But Sierra, one of the best setters to ever grace the Lockhart Arena, is joining me on the broadcast. Excited to have you. The Wolverines with a very interesting, tough matchup against the number 2 ranked Lopes of Grand Canyon University, and it's senior day. The Wolverines with a handful of seniors that they just recently honored. We'll talk about them in a little bit, but Sierra, I want to get your thoughts real quick. So far in this season, the Wolverines they've had a few up and downs. They did just have a really nice victory over Bakersfield a couple days ago. What are some things that you would like to see from Utah Valley maybe improve a little bit upon their last game?
Yeah, I didn't have a chance to watch their last game, but I think, coming in off of a win, if they can control their passing and really get their offense going, I think that's something that always will help you get that W.
Well, let's go ahead and get to the starters without any further ado. First, for the visiting team, we have first starting number 2, Claire Mitchell. Also starting as number 3, Tegan DeFalco. Also number 7, Annabelle Kubinski. Also starting number 11, Melody Horton. Number 13, Sarah Haggy. Number 15, Jenny Murillo. And rounding out the starters for the Lopes is Kyra Moss. And again, the Lopes at taking sole possession of number 2 in WAC play so far. Utah Valley did beat Grand Canyon on the road earlier this year, so it's hard to say what we're going to see today. I think it's going to be a really tough, hard-fought match. But the starters for Utah Valley as well, we have Megan Childs, number 5. Also number 6, your libero, Sarah Merrill. Also number 7, Maddie Wardle. Number 8, Michaela Jarema. Number 9, Kazna Tarafiti. Number 10, Bailey Christensen. And last but definitely not least is number 12, Jasmine Nutupuivaha. And of course, they are coached by Sam Matoa in his 21st season as head coach here at Utah Valley. A couple of players that we need to watch out for in this game. First, for Grand Canyon is Annabelle Kubinski, who is actually leading the conference in hitting percentage at 400. I think she's actually at 413. That might be a more updated statistic, but, you know, as an opponent, when you see a player hitting at a high percentage like that, is that someone that you guys really focus on, or do you just kind of stick to what you do? Like, how do you approach something like that?
Yeah, so we look at hitting percentage too, and we also look at who they set the most, because that is probably the most important, especially for our blockers at the net. You know, if your middle's the person that gets the most balls, then we have to be a little bit more disciplined. But if someone gets the majority of the balls, we kind of cheat a little bit, you know, because that's the person that we need to stop the most.
All right, again, it is senior day, so we've got to talk a little bit about the seniors. So for Utah Valley, Megan Childs, one of the seniors, she ended up sitting out all of last season, had kind of a devastating non-contact injury in practice before the season even started. There was a lot of mystery on whether or not she was going to come and play because her husband, Yoli Childs, playing for BYU, they didn't know if he was going to go play overseas or not. He's still playing in college. She is back. The Wolverines are thrilled to have her. You had a chance to play with Megan, didn't you?
Yep, I played with Megan for 1 year.
What was it like playing with Megan?
Megan brings so much to the court. She has a really contagious energy. She's someone that's always positive. You know, if she's making mistakes, she's shaking them off and wants the ball back. And so I think that's always nice to have someone on the court like that. And then obviously the numbers speak for themselves too. She's a pretty efficient player and,
right,
and someone that I trusted on the court, and I know they get the ball to her a lot this year as well.
Yes, absolutely. She's been a huge part of their offense and defense.
Yeah.
Some other seniors that we have on this squad, aside from Megan Childs, you also have Maddie Wardle, who had to kind of fill in your shoes, which is not an easy thing to do, but she's done it really, really well. I remember specifically, I think it was 2 years ago, I don't know if you were hurt or sick. It was on the road against Bakersfield, and she had to fill in for you, and she actually played really, really well in 5 sets. What do you think she brings to this team?
You know, I think, well, for one, when I played with her, they kind of just threw her in wherever we needed her. We obviously ran a 5-1, and so she wasn't able to set when I was there, but she went in and she played libero, DS, and really just was that versatile player and a team player, trying to fill in wherever she could. And she's kind of the same personality as me. She's a go-getter. She's really fiery, and she's passionate about this sport. And so I think having that kind of personality with a setter, having that personality, she just is a really great leader for the team.
Well, we'll get to a couple of those other seniors in a little bit, but we are underway. First serve coming from Grand Canyon, and it looks like it's an overpass, but we'll have some interference. It looks like a hit with the net, and Utah Valley strikes first. Michaela Jarema checks in immediately. She's another one of those seniors that was honored today. Nearly a service ace to start things off for the Wolverines. Childs, and did it squeak in? It did. On cue, right after you were praising her a moment ago.
Right? Good timing, Megan.
Jasmine Nutupuivaha back to serve for Utah Valley. She had a rare, I don't want to say a bad performance, but a not great performance, which is a rare thing. And the setter's dump, which Sierra is all too familiar with, gives Grand Canyon possession back.
Yeah, sometimes when the setter gets pulled off the net, she was almost to the 10-foot line, so sometimes that's the best time to dump because no one's really expecting you to put it over on 2 and you're that far away from the net.
Kasna rips it through, and another quick side out. Neither team able to go on any kind of run to start things off. It's just been trading points. The Wolverines go up 2. Jasa Funk Stratton. I don't think you played with Jasa. She transferred over last year.
Yep.
I think she's a junior. She'll have another year after this, but she's been, as she misses the pass, but she has been a really good player and a vocal leader for this team as well. I've been really impressed with her.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been impressed with her as well. I think that it's nice, kind of, her and Maddie's personalities are a lot different, but I think they're kind of a yin and a yang thing. She brings a lot of calm, cool, and collected, and I like that part of her game.
Grand Canyon was able to side out, still trading points. Right down the middle for Jarema, and the Wolverines finding some gaping holes in the back to start things off here. Kasna will go back and serve for Utah Valley. Nearly did it again. That, oh, man. The sneakiest. Wow. Great effort by Grand Canyon. Should set up a nice opportunity for Utah Valley. Kaylee Downs. Not quite there. Can they? Oh, my goodness. What a save.
Great save by Tegan. She's been playing since her freshman year. I think she played outside hitter when I played, but she's real scrappy, and she has been for a while now.
There's some players that they're just volleyball athletes where you see they can really play any position. You saw that when you were playing with Nikisha Wilden. She started out as an outside hitter, finished playing libero, did a really good job at it. When you have players like that on your team, how good can you be in that scenario where it's like, oh, someone went down, we got someone else that can just seamlessly fill that position?
Yeah, it's really nice to have a deep bench like that, and it's nice to have players that are up for the challenge. And I know a lot of outside hitters that are really all-around players and really good at passing and defense. A lot of them make that transition to the libero spot, and they do a really good job. I think you kind of have a second sense as a libero when you were a hitter.
Yeah.
You kind of have, this is what I would do in a hitting sense, and I feel like that helps a lot of the liberos.
The tip and the diving save by Kazna. The Wolverines, no shortage of effort, and the point will go to Utah Valley. I didn't see the error. Was that a double hit?
I think they called a net violation on Grand Canyon.
Sure. Largest lead of the day so far. The Wolverines go up by 3 against the number 2 ranked Lopes of Grand Canyon. Downs was able to get her hands on it, but unfortunately the ball falls in favor of Grand Canyon. They'll go back to Kaylee Downs. This time, no stopping that. The outside hitting from Utah Valley this season, it seems like it's really, really deep. It seems like it's a little deeper than what we've seen before. When you were playing, correct me if I'm wrong, you had some incredible outside hitters, but when they weren't in the game, it seemed like you had to make adjustments and really focus on the middle with Madison or did you play with Lauren Bacher?
I did, yeah, my freshman and sophomore year.
So some really good middle blockers. It's kind of the trend with this team. But, you have these outside hitters in Kaylee Downs, you have Kazna Tarafiti, you have Bailey Christensen, and, the list goes on. So any one of those players can really get hot and pick up the slack if there is any.
Yeah, I think that they have a pretty strong right side, and I think that helps them a lot. They get a lot of holes. The blockers kind of have a hard time deciding where to go to. Like you said, they're really strong on the outside, and then adding that right side player in when the middle isn't there, you have daylight to swing at. So.
Yeah. Grand Canyon putting together a little run of their own. They trim that lead down to 1. Melody Horton with the serve. They'll go across to Bailey Christensen. She is able to score. She recorded I believe it was a career-high 15 kills in the last matchup. She just got off to a super hot start, did most of her damage in the first set, kind of cooled off throughout the remainder of the match, but had a couple of key plays to finish things off. So she has really stepped it up in the absence of a couple of players, including
Kristen.
Yes, I'm losing some of the names, but she stepped in and filled in big time.
Yeah, that's awesome. Bailey has really good vision. When she's up there, she sees blockers' hands when they're not in the right spot. Just like that last one, she tooled the blocker, and she's really good at that.
Jasmine delivers for Utah Valley as she's done so many times before. Utah Valley back up 9, and Christensen will serve. Great setup and finish there by Jenny Murillo, her first kill today.
That was a great decision by that setter. I think a lot of times when you get a free ball like that, the defense is expecting it to go to your middle, go to the quicker players. So sometimes when you send the ball outside, then leaves her a big hold just like she had, and she got a pretty good kill.
When you were playing, and a great block by Grand Canyon, when you were playing, were there certain players that you'd be able to kind of figure out their tendencies and kind of plan around? Like the next time you'd see them, even if it was a year later, you'd be able to kind of study film and figure out. Does it make sense what I'm trying to say? Like,
yeah,
were
so
you able to pick them apart?
Are you talking about the other team, like their
yeah,
offense?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you look at players on the opposing team, and they may have pulled a fast one here and there on you, but you're able to recover and plan for it the next time.
Yeah, absolutely. That's kind of the whole purpose of film. So we watch a lot of film before every match that we play, and they give us these charts, and the charts have certain people's tendencies. So you can see if they like cross court, if they like the line shot, and so it's really helpful. And a lot of people, they stay the same most years, but it changes, but people go what they're comfortable with and what they're good at.
And that was a wall of 3 Wolverines sending that ball packing. That was Jarema, Kazna, and Megan Childs, but the unfortunate service error will send it back over to Grand Canyon, and that trims the lead back down to 2. The float serve didn't quite fall, so a handful of service errors to start things off. Just it was relatively error-free for the most part until those mistakes, but you got to capitalize.
Yeah, service errors can really mess up the flow of the game, especially when they're back-to-back. You get an opportunity and then an ace like that, so now we're within a couple points of each other.
Totally flips it around. Great serve by Jasa Funk Stratton. The Wolverines up 4. Jarema with those long arms was able to send it back. Little miscue there. Merrill went full send trying to save it, but couldn't quite get there. Right back to Kazna, and it sailed a little too long this time. Same play, and what a diving save again. Tegan DeFalco has been everywhere. Point, Utah Valley. Kazna will serve. We were talking before the broadcast about how Kazna won a pretty prestigious award, the WAC Athlete of the Month of October. So we're not talking WAC Player of the Week for volleyball. We're talking all sports WAC Player of the Month. So that's how good she is. And a friendly reminder, she is just a sophomore.
Yeah, she's a young player. She came in her freshman year, and you wouldn't even know she was a freshman. She just took lead of that team, and she did really well for them.
Ended up winning WAC Freshman of the Year as well, rightfully so.
Yeah,
Jarema right down the middle. A timeout on the floor. We'll take a quick little break here on the WAC Digital Network. The Wolverines up 3.
Oh, hey, you got one of those insurance apps too? You know how this thing works?
No, sorry.
not an app, it's my agent.
In this moment,
No, I'm fine, thanks.
it's good to know you have a trusted, independent auto owner's insurance agent who's there when you need them.
Great. Man, I gotta get one of those.
Auto Owners Insurance. The no problem people.
Neil Dastrup Insurance, your local independent auto owners insurance agency, supports UVU athletics.
All right, Merrill to serve for the Wolverines. Kind of a broken play. Kasna didn't have the angle right. Christensen nearly makes something out of nothing, but Grand Canyon's reaction time has been really good. Something that I've been impressed with Utah Valley as of late, they've been receiving the ball a lot better than what we've seen before. There have been a couple of games where the opposing team has been able to just attack a certain player because the initial receive pass has just not been good. A lot of errors committed on the reception, but Kasna has done a much better job, as well as Bailey Christensen. Those were two players that were just constantly attacked with the serve, and it really hurt them. So I imagine that was a big point of emphasis, and they've really tightened that up. So I've been really impressed with that.
Yeah, a lot of times teams will target the outside hitters because they not only have to pass, but then they have to go and try and put the ball away. And so when you try and overwhelm them, and if they're making mistakes, then that can lead to more mistakes. And so I think that's really important, is to have outsides that can pass well and that can go and hit a ball. It's a lot of responsibilities on their part.
Wardle to serve, comes up short. She leads the team in service aces. She's a really good server, but not perfect, as we see with the service error. It happens to everybody. Second service error of the day for Utah Valley, 2 for Grand Canyon as well. Kasna unable to handle it, so that'll be a service ace for Grand Canyon. And this game is getting really interesting. We're getting into the second half of the first set, and still could go either way. The slide for Jasmine, it falls in. Three kills now for Jasmine. Looking like her old Jasmine self. We didn't see too much of that against Bakersfield, but she is hitting a whopping 500 on 3 of 6. Grand Canyon able to score again. Great awareness by Maddie. That's tough to defend. Set it up really high, and Jenny Murillo has all of the hops in the world. Was able to place it wherever she wanted.
Yeah, that was a really good choice by that setter. She got pulled a little close to the net, and so usually when that happens, setters try to go to their middle blockers. They're really close to them, and so her making that decision to set the outside, she didn't have any blockers up, which resulted in a kill.
Jasmine again. Feeling fresh on senior day. The push into the corner, sneaky play, and it pays off for the Lopes. The lead is 1. Big time send back by Childs and Jarema. And Kasna is denied at the net. You don't see that often when she gets a full head of steam. We're notched up at 19. Jarima able to get a hand on it, still alive, and it fell right between a couple of Wolverine players. And just like that, Grand Canyon goes up 1. See how long Coach Otoa will let this carry on.
Possibly 1 more point. That's my guess.
I doubt it would be more than that. Murillo. Kazna. Jarima gets a hand on it, and looks like that's going to prompt the timeout, just as Sierra had predicted. The Wolverines go down 2. We're going to take another break here on the WAC Digital Network. Stick around for the end of set number 1.
The latest from KSL 5 News, including breaking news as it happens, and all your favorite KSL shows, ready to watch anytime. Download the free KSL app right now on all your favorite devices.
Coach Otoa wanted to think things over. Let's see what kind of rabbit he can pull out of the hat and get the Wolverines back into it. They'll go to Kazna again. This one, a hard swing, hits the high hands, and they're able to score out of the break.
That's a pretty great swing by Kazna. I think if you can hit high hands every time, that's hard to receive when it goes over your head 15 feet back.
Right down. Oh, great awareness there by Jason Funk Stratton. They're going to go to Kazna again, and wow. Great ball placement by Kazna, and Utah Valley notches it back up at 21.
You know what I really like about Kazna is when things get tight and the pressure is on, she still just swings away and swings hard. So a lot of people get scared, but she doesn't.
So I think this is a new thing, but I believe that Grand Canyon is going to challenge that. So they're going to take a break, and the officials are going to look at the replay because it looks like Coach Tim Nolan saw something that the officials did not. So it would be interesting to see what the officials do, whether or not they overturn it. And this is a crucial point at 21 right now. So this is either going to, I mean, for Utah Valley, you're either tied or you're down 2.
That's right. Is this the first year they implemented
I think so. Honestly, I think this is the first time that I've seen it here.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I've seen that it is a new thing on a couple of other broadcasts, but I think this is the first time I've seen a challenge like this.
Yeah, I mean, this is such a game changer having this technology, because instead of going by the referee's opinion, you get actual footage of if it was in or out. And so there's a lot of plays and a lot of calls that don't go your way when you think that they're supposed to. So wish this was here when I was.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where it benefits both teams, and it can be detrimental to both teams,
Definitely.
Just depending on the scenario. So while we're waiting, we'll take a look at the box score. Right now, leading all players in kills is Jasmine Nutupuivaha with 4, hitting .571. Then you have right behind her a couple of players, Mikaela Jarima and Kazna Tarafiti with 3 kills apiece. Kazna also with those 3 digs and 1 block. The Wolverines with 1. We've had a couple of block assists, but 1 total team block so far. And if you take a look at Grand Canyon, they're sitting on 2 blocks as a team. The Wolverines don't get out-blocked very often, but the edge to Grand Canyon so far. And no surprise here, Annabelle Kubinski hitting .400, which is right about her average. 3 of 5 so far with those 2 blocks. And Melody Horton as well with 3 kills, hitting .400. And Sarah Haggy, 3 of 9, hitting .333. So it's been a pretty balanced attack from both teams. Sometimes you see, an outside hitter just 50 attempts in a game, and they just keep going to her over and over again. And other times you have just so many different weapons that you can just, give it up to and find the best opportunity. And you obviously played here 4 years. Were you a 4-year starter? 3 years?
Yep, 4 years.
So as the years went on, did you have any, oh man, looks like they're going to overturn it.
That's a big point for Grand Canyon.
That is huge. See if the Wolverines can recover. It's a really tough spot. That puts Grand Canyon 3 points away from taking set number 1. But the question I was going to ask you, did you find any outside hitters that were just your go-to, like you wanted to find them as your first option, and then were there other years where it was like, we got enough talent, I'm just going to give it to whoever is set up in the best spot?
Yeah, I think a lot of it kind of came down to like my ability as a setter. So when I got more comfortable, I was able to get it to who I wanted to, no matter where I was on the court. But something really cool about Utah Valley, they have really good, strong outsides. And when I was playing, we had really strong middles. So our whole game plan was to get the ball to our middles and then work our way out. Okay. And then create those holes for our pin players. And so it was a little, I think the game plan was a little bit different than when I was playing, just because, Maddie was player of the year. She got WAC player of the week a ton of times. Lauren was a really good player too. So just depends on who you have each year. And yeah.
All right, Utah Valley decided to call timeout. We're going to stick with it through the break. Just a crazy swing as Grand Canyon was able to extend that lead to 3 with a service ace. Kind of worst case scenario for Utah Valley, having that call overturned, changing it from a tie game to up 2 for Grand Canyon, and then a service ace right after. So that is a 3-point swing in a blink of an eye. Utah Valley is a resilient team, though. I've seen them go on runs and reclaim victories at the end of sets, and they're particularly good at the end of the first set. So will the trend continue? It is hard to say, but they're in a tough spot, backs against the wall right now. KJ Adams, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think they're in a bit more of a tougher rotation. They have Kazna over on the right side, which isn't her usual spot on the court, and Kaylee usually is on the right side, but she got it done.
Kaylee through the block, her 3rd kill today, hitting a great percentage right now. Utah Valley sides out. Kazna will serve. Can they keep it in? It looks like they might. Did it? Oh, man. You hate that. You get your hands all over it, and it just falls outside.
Yeah.
It is set point for Grand Canyon, up 3 in the first set. Emma Ahern will serve for the Lopes. Christensen again. And Jarema sends it home. Utah Valley still kicking. They go down 2. Sarah Merrill will go back to serve for UVU. And that one falls out of play, unfortunately, for the Wolverines. And that will do it for set number 1. A hard-fought set for both. Stick around for some more action between the Wolverines and the Lopes. We'll be back in just a moment. Set number 2 is about to begin. The Wolverines drop set number 1 in a very close fashion, and kind of a I guess not controversial, because they were able to uncover the truth in the new video replay option that coaches have. So I saw Coach, is it Nolan? Yeah, sorry. So Coach Tim Nolan comes up with, he had some kind of green card that he presented to the official, and they did overturn that. Kazna ended up not hitting it quite in bounds, turned into a 3-point swing after that, and Utah Valley just didn't have enough time to recover. But that one is in the books. We are on to set number 2. Did that one stay in? It did. Oh, dear. Speaking of controversy, I want to see if Coach Atoa will bust out. Nope, not going to do it.
It's a little early in the game.
That's
0-1.
true. Point number 1.
We'll give it to him.
Fair enough. That's why I don't coach. I may have been like, nope, I'm going to pull out the card right now.
Yeah, got to pull it out right now.
A service ace for Grand Canyon puts them up 2-0 to start the second set. That will be the third service ace for the Lopes. Jasmine with a really hard swing, but can't get through the block. However, Bailey Christensen does. The ace that we saw from KJ Adams a moment ago, no surprise there, as she is leading the WAC in service aces per set with .39. So definitely a player that you've got to keep an eye on. 3-1, the Lopes able to side out.
They had another point by their setter with a tricky dump.
That setter's dump. It's probably my favorite play. There was, oh man. Is that one of those kind of demoralizing plays where it just drills you in the shoulder and you can't do anything about it?
Yeah. It's not as bad as getting hit in the face, but
yeah, that's
almost
the ultimate thing. Did you ever get hit in the face?
Oh, yeah.
I think everyone probably does at some point, right?
Yeah, I got one real bad at Washington State, but mine was up still.
So it stayed live, okay.
Yeah, it stayed live, so I was pretty happy about that.
Okay. So that's a small victory right there.
Yeah, just a small one.
Grand Canyon up 4-2 early on in the second set here. And Megan Childs able to get through the block. Childs with 2 kills now. And the Wolverines hitting a whopping 400 here in the set, but Grand Canyon at 750. So both teams, okay, I lied, 600 for Utah Valley. So both teams hitting the ball well, just siding out back and forth. Kind of what we saw in the first set. Neither team really pulled away by a large margin at all. So I think we may be in for another tight finish in this set as well.
Yeah, I think, you look at the match stats, and Grand Canyon's hitting 375 and UVU's hitting 304, so they're both doing a pretty good job offensively, and it's just going back and forth. So really anyone's game at this point.
Jasa Funk Stratton able to sneak in a service ace and gives Utah Valley the lead back. Jasa will send it cross to Kazna. She goes up high and down hard. So a 4-0 scoring run by Utah Valley. That might be the largest run we've seen so far today. Oh my! Oh, that's gotta hurt if you're Grand Canyon. It just stops and then falls right there.
If only you could do that every time.
I know. You want to say that that's a skill, but I don't know if that's possible to be that good. Seven to 4, Utah Valley, the slide, and Grand Canyon able to take possession back after a 5-0 run by the Wolverines. Melody Horton with the serve. And this one sailed out. Great vision and awareness by Bailey Christensen. You gotta love how these Wolverines can step up and hit the ball as well as they are, while Kasna is having a little bit of a slow start, hitting. Oh my, thanks for saving my life there. The first volleyball game I ever broadcasted, I had a cup of water, and it totally hit the cup of water like just all over me. I didn't make that mistake ever again. So you gotta be alert.
Game, yeah.
Which I wasn't a moment ago. I was trying to talk up some of these players, but I don't know, I just need to hire someone to, or we need a shield here or something.
Yeah, a shield would be good.
Wolverines up just one. Grand Canyon able to score. Downs is denied. A great block by Grand Canyon, their fourth block as a team. Annabelle Kubinski has been in on most of those. Downs is denied again, back to back. Four blocks now for Annabelle Kubinski. A service error, a fortunate gift for the Wolverines. We'll send it back, and we're tied up at 9. These teams traded not just points but runs, as Utah Valley went on a 5-0 run, followed by a 4-0 run by Grand Canyon. Merrill was able to get underneath it, but unfortunately not enough lift there, so another quick side out here. Grand Canyon back up. Nice recovery by Jasmine. They'll set up Christensen. Solid awareness and vision. I know that every time that happens, Sarah Merrill is having an internal battle with herself because she dives after every ball. That's why she wears those elbow pads right there. So, great decision to let that one go. Nearly another service ace, similar to what we saw from Funk Stratton a moment ago, this time by Maddie Wardle. But Grand Canyon wasn't about to let that happen twice.
That's a great swing by number 15. That back corner on both sides is really hard to defend because it just kind of goes right in between both those players, and you look at each other like, am I going? Are you going?
Yeah, by the time that thought crosses your mind, the ball's already hit the ground.
Yeah, it's kind of a 50-50 ball. It's really whoever goes, so someone just has to go.
The service error will send it back over to Utah Valley. That is service error number 4 on Grand Canyon. Christensen will go back to serve for Utah Valley. She was one of the seniors honored before the game. She's actually a redshirt junior, but it seems like this is it for her. So she has been a huge contribution so far this season. So the Wolverines are happy to have her. Kasna, full head of steam, able to get through, and they tie it back up at 12. There have been a lot of ties and lead changes in this set. Feels like we've played a whole set already, but they just keep trading points. Childs, she'll just push it over. And this one is denied by Michaela Jarema. That's block number 3 for Michaela. Jurema averaging about 1.6 blocks per set. Christensen couldn't quite get under the ball. Hand caught in the cookie jar by the Roos. And Utah Valley able to go back up by 1. I feel like it's Groundhog Day right now. It's just 1 point, side out, 1 point, side out. And as I say that, Utah Valley scores twice.
Up by 2 now.
Yeah. We'll have a timeout on the floor. The Wolverines up 15-13. We will take another break here on the WAC Digital Network. Utah Valley up 2. Downs able to track down the ball. And this one will fall out of play in favor of Utah Valley. So the Wolverines with some life and creating some separation with a 3-0 run. Utah Valley able to get a hand on it, and the ball just sailed across the court where no white jersey was to be found. Critical set for Utah Valley. You don't want to go down 0-2 against a team like this, especially on your home floor.
Yeah, coming back from 0-2 isn't impossible, but you don't like to do it.
It's
hard.
Ideal.
It's difficult for sure.
Great awareness by Jurema. Kasna gets through the block, and she is hyped. Hearing it from the crowd. Big, big play by Kasna. That's got to feel good for her. She's finally getting into a bit of a rhythm with 7 kills now. She was hitting in the negative for a while, now at 167. The unfortunate service error, though, kind of kills momentum. So Grand Canyon right back in it, down just 2. Back-to-back service errors, like it never even happened.
That's always nice when you make a mistake and then they come back and make one too. You're like, cool, all right.
You're like, okay. Don't do it again.
Yeah, that's.
Great swing by Jenny Murillo again. When she gets a good pass, it is really, really hard to stop her. We've seen that pretty much all day today. Claire Mitchell serving, has 22 assists already. This one fell just outside, and Grand Canyon keeping things super close in set number 2. Just when you thought the Wolverines were starting to pull away. Nope. Grand Canyon had other plans. And a service ace. We are tied at 18. Remember how I was telling you about the manic highs and lows that volleyball gives me before this started?
Absolutely.
This is kind of what I was talking about.
Yeah, you think you're up and everything's good, and then all of a sudden it's tied again.
But the game goes on. Coach Atoa stands up and looks like he's going to call timeout. Grand Canyon goes up 19-18. The Wolverines are notoriously good at scoring right out of a timeout, so let's see if they're able to do so here in just a moment.
6 years in a row.
Claire Mitchell to serve for Grand Canyon. The Lopes on a 4-0 scoring run. And Bailey Christensen with the great reaction time and the block. Okay, not a block, but she sent it back. Grand Canyon finding those holes in the back. Sierra, you were talking about that a moment ago where it just falls right between two players. Not enough time to react.
Yeah, it's kind of difficult because this left back player is up further and then the middle back is deeper, and they're just getting it right between them in that deep corner. It almost feels like that ball is sailing out of bounds and then it just finds court.
Merrill ready and waiting for the push. They'll give it up to Christensen. But Grand Canyon just locked in. Utah Valley having a hard time scoring. Kasna down the middle.
Seems like Kasna's really turned it around this set compared to the first one, so that's always good when you don't do as well and then you can come back and turn it around.
Up to 8 kills to lead all players. Merrill, is it still oh, it is! Oh, no. Great effort by Maddie. Such a crazy thing when the ball goes off the ceiling like that. You have no idea where it's going to shoot off to.
Yeah, there's so many different things that can hit up there, and you just never know.
A 2-point lead for Grand Canyon. They're up 21-19. Utah Valley in desperate need of a side out. And fortunately, they get it with a chance to tie. Grand Canyon delivers once more. They go back up 2. Dangerous spot for Utah Valley. In fact, this is the exact score we were at after that controversial call. Utah Valley and Grand Canyon tied at 21, but the point erased and put them right at this score. Megan Childs able to deliver for Utah Valley. Fresh life in the Wolverines. Great serve by Jasmine. It's an ace, and we are tied at 22. The Lopes will call timeout. We're going to take another quick break here on the WAC Digital Network. You do not want to miss the end of this set.
From KSL 5 News, including breaking news as it happens, and all your favorite KSL shows, ready to watch anytime. Download the free KSL app right now on all your favorite devices.
Jasmine to serve again after a service ace. A big time, oh my, what a recovery. Nope, looks like they're going to give it to Utah Valley on a double hit. A big swing, the turn of events, Utah Valley on a 3-0 run to reclaim the lead. Oh man, that one squeaked into the back corner. So we're tied up at 23 apiece.
So important to side out this first ball right here.
Kazna doesn't get the best pass, but that may not matter. Childs. This will set up a nice opportunity for Kazna.
Great coverage by Bailey right there.
Couldn't get it that time, though. It is set point for Grand Canyon. Coach Toa is going to call timeout again. We're going to stay right here with it, though. Man, these teams, they're definitely different, but when you look on paper and you look at just the points, it's been so close. Utah Valley is, they've proven that they can go on runs to change things real quick, but so can Grand Canyon. I mean, what do you do if you're Utah Valley? You don't think about anything else that just happened? You just want to get 1 point right here, right now?
That's right, yeah. The best thing to do is just put whatever else happened behind you and look at this next point, because you can't really do anything about the past, so you always got to be thinking about the next point and can't dwell on those things, because once you start dwelling on it, you're more likely to make an error. So best thing to do is get a good pass out of this next serve and try and side out.
Grand Canyon has been siding out at a higher rate than the Wolverines, 67.4%, while Utah Valley at 62.5%.
Out of this timeout, Kazna and Megan are both hitting very well, so I would assume that Maddie would choose one of those girls to set next.
Definitely got options, but that first pass is so crucial right here. Sarah Haggy to serve again. It's a great serve. Childs. Man, that ball went high. Looks like they're going to go back to Kazna. Oh, man. Great job by Wardle. Oh, man, that is killer. That is, you hate to see the set end like that after all the effort. The Lopes here at Utah Valley go up 2-0 on a 3-0 scoring run. I mean, if you're Utah Valley, you just shake it off like Taylor Swift and move on.
That's right. That's all you really can do. So, it's not impossible to come back 3 sets, and they've done it plenty of times before. Just makes for a longer game.
All right, we will revisit that. I want to get some insight from Sierra on being in that scenario. You're down 2, being in a position where you've come back and won matches like that. We'll talk about that after the break, so stick around for some more action here on the WAC Digital Network. Set number 3 is underway, and Jasmine able to strike first for Utah Valley. That is a good sign coming out of the break.
That's a nice first play coming out after being down 0-2. Seems like they just shook it off, got a good pass, and then Jazz got up there and crushed that ball.
Grand Canyon, though, in the driver's seat. Maddie Wardle keeping the ball alive. Can they capitalize, though? Not this time. It went right back to Maddie, but hard to recover on that play. Jenny Murillo will go out of the game for Utah Valley, so if you're the Wolverines, now is a great opportunity to score. And just like that, Megan Childs able to come through for Utah Valley. So the Wolverines go back up 2-1 in a must-win third set as Grand Canyon is up 2-0. The last time these two teams met, the Wolverines were able to win on the road.
That's pretty impressive. Grand Canyon's not an easy place to play at. They got a smaller gym, and they have a band that comes in, and everyone's really rowdy. It's really loud, and so that's a great win for them on the road.
Would you say, where was like the rowdiest place that you guys played?
Definitely Bakersfield.
Yeah.
So Bakersfield wasn't a good track record for me. My junior year, I had a kidney infection, and my senior year, I rolled my ankle there. So Bakersfield isn't my favorite place to play.
It's understandable. Kazna with a big rip. And this one sailed a little too far. The last time these two teams met, Utah Valley was able to take it 3-1. The Wolverines won the first set and then won 3 straight. But if you take a look at the numbers, it was close. Just like what we're seeing right here, the Wolverines went into extra points in the second set, 30-28 and then 26-24. So it was extra points in all of them except for the first set. Utah Valley able to get a deflection. They go back up by 2. Kazna finished with 19 kills the last time these two teams met. She's been a little more quiet today. She had kind of a slow start, but she is leading the way with 9 kills. UVU putting together a little run here. They go up 5-2, but can they maintain it? That is the question. They haven't been able to do it so far. Great awareness there by Kyra Moss. She's up to 7 kills, hitting over 600. A gift for Utah Valley, but you can't rely on gifts. Jasmine Nutupuivaha will check back in for Mikaela Jarema. Jasmine has had a great game so far with those 6 kills, hitting 385. Okay, another point for Utah Valley. They extend that lead to 4. How do you stay focused when you're able to kind of create some separation? Obviously that feels good and you start getting hyped up, but you also need to stay laser focused. So, I mean, how do you maintain that mentality?
Yeah, I think that's the hardest part of getting up so far early on in the set, because you kind of feel a little bit lax. Like, okay, we got a little room to wiggle with.
Yeah.
And so I think for us, we'd always just say 1 point at a time, and you're trying not to look at the score every time, because we all know in volleyball it has its ups and downs, and it's real easy to go on a 6-0 run. So I think you just have to play 1 point at a time and really forget that you're up by that far.
Kaylee Downs, an overpass, should be a free ball for Utah Valley, and it is. It looked like Christensen and Jasmine went for the ball. I think Jasmine was able to put it down. So the Wolverines on a 4-0 scoring run, they go up 9-3. So that is what you want to see if you're a Wolverine fan, because the Wolverines backs against the wall, down 2. We're going to stay here through the break. What have you liked so far from Utah Valley here in this third set compared to what we saw earlier?
You know, I really like their energy coming out. They're just down 0-2. They could come out and kind of feel sorry for themselves, but they don't have low energy at all, and so I really like that. And it seems to me like their passing's gotten a lot better this set, and they're able to distribute the ball a lot better. So good job to the setters and the hitters for executing their game plan.
I mean, the proof is in the pudding. The Wolverines are hitting 400 in this set, 9 points in, while Grand Canyon hitting -91. So that kind of speaks for itself. But both teams have been able to recover pretty well out of timeouts. So let's see if Utah Valley can weather the pretty much inevitable storm that's coming from Grand Canyon.
Yeah, I thought the Wolverines have done a good job at putting serving pressure on Grand Canyon. It seems like most of this set they've been out of system and kind of chasing the ball, and when other teams are out of system, it makes defense a lot easier for the Wolverines to set up and get that point.
Utah Valley with a 100% side out percentage, I guess, so far here in the fourth set, while Grand Canyon at 37. Grand Canyon able to stop the bleeding out of the timeout. And Jenny Murillo will check back in for Grand Canyon. She has had a great match so far with those 8 kills, hitting .353. The Wolverines have yet to really have an answer for her when she gets a quality look. Christensen denied at the net. Back-to-back points for Grand Canyon, and that lead is down to 4. Christensen again. Credit Grand Canyon. That is 9 team blocks for Grand Canyon.
You know, that's a tough situation to put Bailey in when the pass gets pulled off the net like that and the setters really only have a couple options. You know, the defense on the other side, they know where the ball's going. They know it has to go to Bailey, and so makes Bailey work a little harder.
In that scenario, I mean, one of the best things you can hope for is just getting contact and having it land out of bounds.
Right, yeah, and during that situation, you know, when I'm out of system and you have to try to get the best ball to your outside, and then really it's up to them to try and hit high hands or try to do something with it.
We'll have an error on Grand Canyon. The Wolverines are able to go back up by 5, so a nice cushion, but Grand Canyon is looking pretty sharp. Once again, Murillo able to get through the block and score. That'll be 9 kills for her. Kazna leading all players with 10. First player to double digits. DeFalco with that high-powered jump serve. Beautiful setup and a beautiful kill by Annabelle Kubinski. Just so efficient again and again, leading the WAC, and she's hitting over 500 so far today. 7 kills for Annabelle with 6 blocks.
She's done a really great job, and you know, their setter is really coming up with great decisions and great options to get her those one-on-one situations. So I really like the setter, and I really like the decisions that she makes on Grand Canyon.
Utah Valley able to side out. Christensen was able to get the deflection out of bounds, and she will go back to serve. Kind of a broken play, but the Wolverines able to keep it alive. And again, Jenny Murillo.
See, that's another really great decision by that setter. She got pulled in real close to the net. Our middle blocker jumped with her, and she set the outside, and she had no one up.
Claire Mitchell serving. Looks like Hagee was able to get through the Wolverine defense, and Grand Canyon trims the lead to 2. Jasmine again is denied, a rare denial. Got to appreciate the heads-up play by Grand Canyon. Coach Ito is going to call timeout to try and stop the run, the 3-0 run by Grand Canyon. What have you seen, as you know, you're surveying what we're seeing right here? What is Grand Canyon doing to make adjustments and go on a run like that while Utah Valley seemed to be in control for a moment?
You know, I think they've done a better job at controlling the ball on their side and staying in system. They've gotten to get their middle involved, and so that means that their defense is doing a really good job of getting the ball up, and their middle really has done a good job at executing their plays. She just got that kill and then that tip in that corner, so I think they're just being a lot smarter with the ball right now.
They just seem to be composed when their backs are against the wall. They're able to recover. It seems like they're able to, you know, they don't let it affect them too much. So Utah Valley's still up, but it is just that 1-point deficit. We've gone back and forth, 7 lead changes here just in the third set alone, and 12 ties. These have been some long sets. Still serving is Claire Mitchell. 34 assists, 6 digs, 4 blocks, and 2 kills. So filling up the stat sheet, and my goodness, Megan Childs coming in hot.
That's a nice swing for Megan and a really good decision by Maddie. She got pulled further on the court, and so she reverse flowed it back to Megan and made a really nice hole for her.
Nice serve by Jasmine. The dump, but Utah Valley was ready. And is that going to be a third hit? It is, unfortunately.
Substitution, GCU, KJ Allen.
Kasna. Don't touch the ball, it's hot. Jasa with 3 service aces so far today. Tooling the block is number 11, Melody Horton, with her 9th kill. Grand Canyon could finish the day with 4 players in double-digit kills. Downs with a big swing, and she is able to score. 5 kills now for Kaylee. Kasna back to serve. 11 kills for her. Definitely a miscue. Should set up a nice opportunity for Utah Valley. Christensen, however, unable to get through the block. Kyra Moss had a hand on it. Let's see who else was on the block. I'll tell you in a moment. Oh, man, it snuck in. Kasna thought about it, but it was a service ace. We're tied up at 15. Jurema had a great look down the middle, but again, Kyra Moss has just been all over defensively. 5 blocks now for her. Jurema unable to get it to land. Had a great look, and Grand Canyon now on a 4-0 scoring run. Just been a few balls that haven't fallen in favor of Utah Valley.
Yeah, I think they're passing pretty well. It just comes down to executing.
Yeah. Well, we'll take a break here on the WAC Digital Network. Grand Canyon up 2, and the Wolverines fighting to keep this match alive and avoid a sweep here at home. We will be right back.
In the WAC, we value sportsmanship on the field,
on the track, on the court, in the pool,
and in the stands.
We take pride in playing fair and being honest.
We honor the game by showing respect for our opponents,
the officials,
the fans, and our team.
Great sportsmanship is about keeping everything in perspective.
It's about taking ownership after a loss.
And being humble after a win.
We hope you'll team up with us by staying positive on the sidelines.
Because great sportsmanship is what unites us.
We are the Western Athletic Conference.
The road to national championships runs through NCAA.com and the NCAA Sports app. And whether you follow one college team or all of them, it's never been easier to get the content you want all in one place. With live broadcasts of multiple championships.
Serving for the Lopes is number 5, Alyssa Chisholm. Kaylee Downs, she was hot earlier, but a great dig by Grand Canyon. Downs again. This ball is going to sail. Wow, still in play, was headed for the stands, but got the deflection. Just what the doctor ordered. Utah Valley ends that 4-0 scoring run and trims the lead to 1. Kyra Moss able to get through the block. 8 kills now for Kyra. 5 blocks as well. And Claire Mitchell had the assist. She is on her way to 1,000 assists in her freshman season. Great diving save by Merrill. The Wolverines will have to just get it over, which unfortunately sets up a great opportunity for Grand Canyon. They are just on a roll. They go up by 3. Coach Atoa sending in some fresh blood. It looks like freshman Tori Dorius, the 6'2" outside hitter, will check in for the first time today. Murillo unable to get through. Jasmine into the corner. Wardle with the serve. And the setter's dump, but Wardle was able to read it. She dove and saved the ball. Oh, a huge block by Childs and Jasmine Nutupuivaha. The Wolverines hadn't really had an answer thus far for Jenny Murillo, so that's got to feel good, sending one back. A gaping hole, though, in the back. Grand Canyon able to side out pretty quickly, and they strike that 20-point mark first. The Wolverines on their heels. A timely service error trims the lead back down to just 1. Tori Dorius will serve for the Wolverines. And an unfortunate service error back-to-back, this time on Utah Valley, and a 2-point lead for the Lopes. A must side out for the Wolverines. They'll go to Kasna. Oh my.
That was a close one.
Looked real good, and fortunately for Utah Valley, Kasna hit the ball hard enough to send it clear to the opposite side of the court. Grand Canyon able to side out again. 3 points away from stealing one on the road and getting revenge on the Wolverines. Point Utah Valley, a fortunate break here in crunch time. And this is it. You got Jason Funk Stratton serving. She has 3 service aces so far, so not the person that Grand Canyon wants to see at the service line. A big block by Kasna Tarafiti and Michaela Jarema. They notch it up at 22.
You know, this is a great lineup for them to finish the game. They got a really tough server back there, and they got Kai and Kaz and Kaylee up front, so.
An overpass. Kasna, it falls just outside. No, it falls inside. Sorry, the officials were confused for a moment, but the Wolverines, a huge play. They go up 1, 2 points away from forcing a 4th set. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on the WAC Digital Network.
About the car shopping experience at Murdoch Hyundai that has everyone talking. Maybe it's the safety inspections or the car washes for life. It could be the price match guarantee, or maybe it's just the way you're treated. Come fall in love in Linden, Logan, and Murray at Murdoch Hyundai. Your no regrets dealer.
Utah Valley trying to force a 4th set. What a play, and they can't quite get it. The effort was there, but the point was not. We're tied up at 23. See what kind of fight the Wolverines have. Annabelle Kubinski to serve. And an unfortunate miscommunication there between Tori Dorius and Kasna Tarafiti. It is match point for Grand Canyon, a chance to come into the den and sweep the Wolverines. Christensen will come in for Dorius, a quick substitution. Barely made it in time. Jarema, it's sent back, but Kasna is able to find the court. We're tied up at 24. Looks like we're going to go to extra points in set number 3. And Coach Atola will send Tori Dorius back into the game. The ball tipped, and Grand Canyon goes back up 25-24. Match point again for Grand Canyon. Sarah Haggie will go back and serve for the Lopes. It's do or die. Back set, Kasna, a huge dig. Can the Wolverines come through? Dorius is denied. That will do it. A huge block by Grand Canyon. They are ecstatic with the sweep on the road. What a match.
Yeah, didn't feel like a sweep at all.
No.
It was a battle the whole time.
Very, very close in every single set. 25-22, 25-23, and 26-24. So, not all losses are created equal. This one was extremely close. The Wolverines just unable to capitalize at the very end of all three of those sets. We'll take a quick break here on the WAC Digital Network and be back for just a little recap, and then we will see you next time. So stick around for just a moment. We'll be right back.
Here at Intermountain Healthcare, our doctors have experience treating young athletes, professional athletes, and the athlete next door. We treat everyday injuries, sports injuries, concussions, total joint replacements, and everything in between. Come visit our board-certified physicians and surgeons here at Intermountain Healthcare's Utah Valley Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Clinic. We're committed to keeping you moving.
Thinking of buying a home? Think bigger. Because with UCCU's low interest rates and low mortgage insurance rates, you could qualify for more house with the same payment you could get from other local lenders. A mortgage with UCCU gives you more purchase power. That means more money you can put into your home or back into your pocket. To learn more, visit uccu.com/morehouse or stop by any UCCU branch today. More house, same payment. Only at UCCU, inspiring smart mortgage decisions.
Your final score here at the Lockhart Arena in Orem, Utah. 3-0 in favor of the visiting Lopes of Grand Canyon, and they hold on to sole possession of second place in the WAC standings. A very tough loss for Utah Valley on senior day. Kasna Tarafiti led all scorers with 14 kills, hitting 300, 8 digs, 3 blocks. So she had a great match, had a little bit of a slow start, but definitely came back with a vengeance. It just came up a little short. The Wolverines hit 216 for the match, which isn't bad. It's not great, but still pretty darn good. But Grand Canyon was just able to execute a little bit better. As you take a look at the scores from all three sets, it was extremely close. Sierra, some of your final thoughts on this match. Obviously, you don't want to lose in sweeping fashion, especially at home. What were some things that you enjoyed from Utah Valley? What did they do well, and what do you think they can clean up a little bit before their next match?
I thought that the effort was there. We went back and forth the whole time. I thought that they started every set. They came out really strong, and in every set they had leads. They had 5-6 point leads early on, and so I think that they did that really well, and I think, something they can improve on is just sticking that out towards the whole match. And I think that towards the end they were making a little bit more errors, and Grand Canyon was just a little bit more efficient. And so I think if they can spread that out longer through the set, and if they can execute in more crucial times, then I think that they're going to do really well. I don't think that this was a loss because they were the worst team today. I think that Grand Canyon just was a little bit better at certain times.
So Utah Valley, again, their last game at home being senior day, so this is going to be the last call from us for volleyball. It's always a sad day when that happens. Utah Valley has a long road trip ahead of them. They are going to play at UMKC on November 7th, at Chicago State on the 9th, at Seattle U on November 14th, and then finish it off at California Baptist on November 16th. And then they will be back here for the WAC tournament. So a big test coming for Utah Valley to see where they can fall in the WAC standings before coming back here. you always want to get a few games on the road and carry that momentum in here. And this is the first time they've hosted a tournament. So, I mean, what do you think's going through the players' minds knowing that you're going to be here on your home court for the tournament? So different than what they've experienced in the past.
Right. I think having a home court advantage is huge. You don't have to travel. You go to sleep in your own bed. You practice here every single day, and so I think that they're really excited. I know the season's been up and down for them. They're sitting about 5th in the standings, so I think that they're just ready for the tournament. Whoever wins the tournament gets to go to the NCAA tournament. So I think they're really focused on that, and they really are welcoming that home court advantage.
So a unique opportunity for the Wolverines to win the WAC tournament for the first time in the school history, and first time potentially going to the NCAA tournament. No Wolverine has been able to do that. So it's exciting times here in Orem, Utah. So we'll definitely be watching it when it happens, but there is a lot of conference play left before that even takes place. Again, I am Kyle Bruder. Alongside today was the incomparable Sierra Starley/Thompson. I'm glad that you got married after the fact, because the fun thing, or the not fun thing about broadcasting is so many players